so low that he wanted to die, yet he's one of the heroes of faith. David had an affair with a married woman, then had her husband killed in a battle. But after an extremely dark time that followed in his life, David turned his heart back to the Lord and is remembered as the man after God's own heart. You may not realize it, but it's in the dark places that you really grow. That's where your character is developed, where you learn to trust God, to persevere, where your spiritual muscles are made strong. In the dark places, you pray more. You draw closer to God. You take time to get quiet and listen to what He's saying. In those dark places, you reevaluate your priorities. You slow down and take time for your family. You have a new appreciation for what God has given you. A friend of mine was giving the devastating news that because of an infection, he was going to lose his eyesight. He had surgery and wasn't supposed to be able to see afterward. But the doctors were able to correct the problem. Amazingly, he came out of the surgery with his vision perfectly fine. Now, every morning when he gets up, he takes 15 minutes and just stares at the trees and the flowers. He gazes in wonder at his children. He didn't realize it at the time, but in that dark place, he was being blessed. Something was happening on the inside. He was experiencing new growth, a greater confidence, endurance, resolve. When you go through enough dark places, you don't complain about little inconveniences. You don't get upset because you didn't get a parking spot. You don't lose your joy when you get stuck in traffic. You don't get offended if a coworker was rude to you. You've been through too much to let that sour you. Your backbone has been made into steel. One day, a well-meaning person said to me, "Joel, I heard a man talking negatively about you, and I was so sorry that he said that." The person was being kind and encouraging, but I thought to myself, you don't have to feel sorry for me. I buried my father. I saw my mother come through cancer. I learned how to minister when every voice told me I couldn't do it. I believed we would get the Compact Center when all the odds were against us. If I made it through all of that, I can make it through somebody not liking me. That's like a little gnat you just have to flick away. When you go through a few dark places, it toughens you up. The dark places are what have made me into who I am today. I like the good times better. I prefer everything going my way. I'm not believing for any dark times, but it wasn't the good times that brought out the best in me. It was the lonely nights, the times I didn't think I could do it on my own, the times I didn't see a way. That's when I really learned how to pray. That's when I developed an unshakable confidence in God. That's when my faith was stretched. Don't complain about the dark times. There's a blessing in that dark place. God is working something in your life that can only be worked in the fire of affliction. When my father died and I was first trying to learn how to minister, I was so afraid to get up in front of people. There were nights after dinner I would go into my closet to pray. Victoria would come looking for me, asking the kids, "Where's your dad?" She would find me in my closet praying. The truth is, I never prayed like that in the good times. I didn't go out of my way to draw closer to God when everything was going my way. It was the dark places that helped me to develop my spiritual muscles. Even though I didn't like what I was going through, being uncomfortable forced me to stretch and grow. I wouldn't change it for anything. It's made me better. God uses the dark places. When Joseph was falsely accused and put in prison for 13 years, the Scripture says he was laid in chains of iron, and his soul entered into that iron. In that prison, Joseph developed strength, a perseverance that he could not have gotten any other way. And there are some lessons you can only learn in the dark places. Quit complaining about what you're going through, about how unfair it is, about who did you wrong. It may be uncomfortable, you may not like it, but it's working for your good. You're getting stronger. It's developing something in you that you can only get in the dark. You cannot reach your highest potential being in the light all the time. To have no opposition, no problems,